Welcome to Hope is Here. My name is Greg Horn. Thanks for tuning in today. We have it in studio with us. My guest again today is maybe somebody that you like, man, I know that name. It's Lonnie Johnson. Lonnie is a defensive back for the University of Kentucky Wildcats football team, and he is hanging out with me this semester doing an internship, and he's obviously a great football player, but he's even a better person. And so I've had him with me yesterday, just kind of knowing a little bit about his background. He grew up in Gary, Indiana. Then he went to junior college in Kansas, and like a lot of us, man, school was tough when you go to college, and thought about maybe just quitting, but he toughened it out, got his degree there, and then had a chance to play at several SEC schools: Georgia, Alabama, West Virginia. Obviously not SEC, but big time football, and yet he chose Kentucky. And one of the reasons was because he wanted to be close to home, loves his family, his mom, brothers, and just got a great family support system, and wanted them to be able to see him play. So, but if you missed that, I want to encourage you to go to our website. You can catch that conversation we had yesterday with Lonnie. It simply is at hopeishere.today. That's hopeishere.today. Well, Lonnie, as we continue talking today, so you've got to UK, you're ready to play football, and obviously the SEC is the best football conference in the country. Can you verify that since you play it? Obviously, coming from JUCO, is that the real deal? SEC football?
Yeah, like they say, SEC football get you ready for the NFL. I remember playing my first game, and my body just was toe up. It just felt totally different. They was like, "That's SEC football for you." So it is what they say it is.
Well, it is amazing when you see it on TV, or I've been to several games, and it is, man. It is big time football, and the athletes are great. They're fast, they're big. And what's the biggest difference going? I mean, obviously, I know you went to high school to junior college, but even from junior college to the SEC, what would be the big difference? One of the bigger differences that happens?
I would say in junior college, it's less organized. I mean, we didn't scheme as much as you do in Division One. You learn less in junior college. I didn't know to check down the distance and to look at the sticks and how far I am from the sideline and stuff like that. All that little stuff matters in Division One, and you gotta take note of that, or you'll get burnt, or bad plays happen.
So it sounds like maybe more attention to detail you have to pay in the Division One.
Yeah, a lot of attention to detail. A lot of communication. Communication is very key. If you and the safety not on the same page, it can be a big play for the offense. So you gotta communicate. Getting the plays across. I'm pretty much always on the outside, so I'll be the one that has to get the play to the D-line, to the linebackers, to the other safety, and he got to get it to the other safety in the corner. If I don't do my job, then the whole defense messed up. So,
wow. So communication obviously is really important in a lot of aspects of life, but it's also really important on the football field, huh?
Yeah, it's real important. I mean, that's my major. I like to talk. I know I could talk about the sport, so doing it on the football field, I know I'm a vocal person, and I'm a natural born leader, so I don't have a problem with doing it.
Well, that's good. Makes I know fans of the UK football program glad to hear that a guy like you is out there and making the calls. What as far as obviously, I mean, you got classes, you got working out. I mean, you're a busy guy, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I try to space out a little bit of time, but there's not really no time. I don't really have time to waste at this time. So pretty much just gotta take every day and figure out what I'm gonna do with it and plan it ahead. If I don't do that, then my days get clustered.
I can imagine. Well, talk to me about what it's like. You go into the SEC and you go and play on the road at places. I think it was Georgia this year. You guys played at Georgia, I believe. That was one
Georgia,
of the
South Carolina, Mississippi State.
Okay,
some tough places. I would pretty much say South Carolina was probably one of the toughest ones. They crowd was loud. It was sold out. Probably like 89,000 there. So coming from JUCO, it's probably like 3,000. Right. I'm cool with that, but you got 89,000 people yelling at you. It's different. so you can mess up if you want to.
Yeah. Yeah, and also you obviously the games. Most of them are on national TV, so you got people watching. And are you able to, when you're on the field, just kind of able to block that kind of stuff out, or is it still? I mean, that's a lot of people, and you know it's there, but you got a job to do, or just help for people like me that are up in the stands watching. And how do you do that on the field?
I mean, I pretty much been like this all my life. Well, after the first game, I pretty much heard all the noise. But, like, all my life playing sports, I really just block everything out. I really don't hear nothing until after the play over. So it sounds crazy. It's like I be real deal like having tunnel vision out there. It's like I don't hear nothing until after the play is over. It's like pretty much deaf until I'm done with everything.
Okay.
So I don't really hear the crowd when I'm playing.
So you're definitely mentally locked in when the play's going on. That's good.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
Well, that's the thing. I think, as we're talking here on Hope is Here with Lonnie Johnson, defensive back with the University of Kentucky, and talking to him about having hope. And, sometimes, man, you just have to mentally block out things in your life. Even though people are against you, the Bible talks about if God is for us, who can be against us? And when you go on the field, you got your probably 80-something guys on the team and your coaches and stuff. And there's always some big blue fans traveling. But when you're like in South Carolina and basically about 80,000 plus are against you, you got to kind of come together, and you have to be mentally tough, don't you?
Yeah, you got to. I can say I got that from coming from where I came from, growing up in Gary, Indiana. Like you gonna see a lot of things. You're gonna see a lot of people dying. You're gonna see a lot of deaths. You got to be mentally tough for that. So growing up there pretty much built me for the person I am now.
So you tried to learn from the things going around you that could be dangerous to you. Talk about what have you learned with sports? I mean, as far as obviously, sometimes you're the hero, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you think you should get more playing time, you don't. I mean, just talk about some of the things that you've learned through playing sports, especially at the college level, both in JUCO and the SEC.
Forget about a bad play. Just go to your next play. I actually gave up a game-winning touchdown this year on my birthday.
Oh, wow.
First start.
Really?
Against Ole Miss. So it was like bad. Like I didn't know if I was going to start. It was a big moment for me. It was my birthday and like game winner, all that. So it's like, wow, like all that just happened on this day. You know what I'm saying? So it's you got to be tough. I mean, you got to be tough. You just got to have that mindset to just forget about it and just go out there and play your next play.
Well, I think that's great advice to the people that listen to Hope is Here. And, we all make mistakes. Lonnie talks about one. He's playing SEC football, a game I'm sure was on TV. And yet, like you said, it happened, and then you had to learn from it, move on, and just put it behind you, didn't you?
Yeah, I put it behind me and my own, because, I pretty much had a great game up until that play. So, pretty much put it behind me and went on to the next game. I was hurt, crying, and just was thinking about, like, man, like, I just let my team down, but my teammates helped bring me back up. Coaches stood behind me, and I end up starting the next game and for the rest of the season. So, I just want to thank them for that and thank God, and my parents and my family being around and helping me get through that.
Absolutely, man. We all need support, and we all make mistakes. And in this case, that was a tough play. The guy, I think that you were checking, he was a pretty big dude too, wasn't he?
Yeah, I won't forget his name. DK Metcalf, something like that. I know who he is. I remember him for next year.
Oh yeah. Looking forward to that rematch.
Yeah, most definitely.
But I think the thing I love what you shared, hey, I'd had a really good game, and then comes down obviously the last play, and they happen to go your way, and you give great effort. It happens, but so many times I've seen Lonnie. Obviously, I'm a lot older and been about 20 plus years since I've been out of UK, but I've seen people get stuck because of, a bad thing happens, and you gave it your best. It didn't work out, yet you stayed in the game. You came, and I love how you said my coaches, my teammates, and you went out and kept playing and started the rest of the year. And yet some of you that are listening out there today, I know that for some of you, man, something bad's happened in life. Maybe it's a divorce, maybe you lost your job, maybe it was the death of a loved one, and you've just kind of gotten paralyzed by it, and you're not willing to move forward. And I just want to encourage you today. There's a time to grieve and be sad, but Lonnie said he shed a few tears over that, and most of us have not had replay shown on ESPN or SEC Network like Lonnie has, yet he had the moment that weekend where he was bothered, he hated it because he thought he let his teammates down, but he did the best he could, and he went on and moved on. And for some of you today, I want to encourage you need to move on. You need to say, you know what, hey, did the best I could and got to move on. And as Lonnie said, go to the next play. In this case, go on to the next day, whatever it is in your life that God has for you. And so, you say, well, you don't understand. Well, it's kind of like I tell people, you lose a job. My brother Darren was the head basketball coach at South Carolina, and he got fired. And he sent me a text and said, after it happened, I got let go. I'm okay. God's still on the throne. And same thing for Lonnie that day, same thing for me when I lost my store in a flood, went through a bankruptcy and a divorce at the age of 32. A $10 million company went from getting ready to be a millionaire to losing it all because of a flood. And, stuff is so temporary, but you can't live in the past. You got to move forward. So I'm thankful that Lonnie chose to move forward and that he stuck it out in junior college. And what are some of the things that you've learned also from sports, Lonnie? I mean, what are things that have been good takeaways for you?
I learned that no matter how much stuff can bring you down, there's always something worse out there. Dealing with junior college and seeing how bad it was, thinking about how good I had in high school. Being committed to Ohio State, I was on my way to a dynasty team, a great team, and I got humbled when I went to junior college. It basically showed me all this can be taken away from you. This is what other people going through. You think you got it good until you see what other people going through. So that's why when I got here, I learned to appreciate everything, appreciate people, appreciate the janitor that's helping clean up, you know what I'm saying? Just help him pick up something every now and then. He'll take notice of that. You never know. That's somebody's parent,
That's right.
So I wouldn't want nobody to treat my mom a certain way because my mom didn't clean floors. She didn't did all type of stuff. So you got to think it's always somebody going through something worse than what you going through. So just be appreciative and take advantage of what you got.
Well, I think that's great wisdom there, man. You're right. My grandfather, one of my grandfathers actually was a janitor, and unfortunately he couldn't read because he didn't have the chance to go to school. And I was the first person on my mom's side of the family to graduate from college. And you're right, man. Tough things happen in life to people, and yet, we need to honor everybody, no matter whether they're the president or whether they're, cleaning things for us. And so that's a lot of wisdom, man. I love that right there, and good wisdom for all of us today. Final question, I just want to ask you if there was something that you wanted to say to, maybe people back in Gary or whatever, or just a word of encouragement or whatever. What would you want to say?
I would just tell them, is somebody out there that is trying to shine a light on the city of Gary. I mean, I know it's rough. I know a lot of people go through things. I done seen things. So I done been through it too, but it's a different way out of Gary. You don't got to take the rough route. You can actually do school. You can, play sports and listen to your parents and not do everything else that other people doing. So just take advantage of it while you're young and don't waste your time because it's out there. So I'm just trying to help my little brother out right now, and hopefully other people see that.
Well, you're doing a good job of it, Lonnie, and man, thanks for being here today, and I look forward to us being together the next few months and working together, and it's going to be good. But it's Lonnie Johnson with the University of Kentucky football team, defensive back. So next year when he's playing, number 6, you got to say a prayer for him and help him to play the best of his ability, and look forward to hopefully having a chance to play at the next level. Well, my name's Greg Horn. Thanks for tuning in to Hope is Here today. If you missed yesterday's show, show, or you turned in late today, you want to hear the rest of what Lonnie had to share, we did 2 programs with him, just go to our website. You can find it simply at hopeishere.today.